It truly is an honor and a privilege to be able to welcome JW on stage for a few minutes here. So,
Said a hip hop, a hip to the hip hip hopper. You don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm a rapping to the beat, and me, the crew, and my friends are gonna try.
Well, the good news or the bad news is I know all 14 and a half minutes of that song, but that would actually take up the entire time I have here. That could be the good news and the bad news. There is good news and bad news. The bad news is, many of you heard me short session on Thursday. Good news is I'm not up here for very long, so that is the good news. First of all, I think thanking the CareStack team, as well as Abby, there's business owners, there's entrepreneurs, and then there's visionaries. And Abby is no doubt one of those visionaries. Every time I see what they're doing or meeting with him this week and understanding what products they're rolling out, that is truly what a visionary does. And today we want to talk a little bit about how you can utilize the technology and couple that with hybrid teams to really get the maximum effect for your business as well as maximizing your ROI. So a little bit about us. We are in 3 different countries. We operate in Zimbabwe, Zambia, Costa Rica. We have centers in all 3. Costa Rica primarily for our bilingual teams. We have over 1,300 team members supporting 3,000 plus practices and numerous DSOs. So, as you know, one of the really big issues in today's market is just the labor cost. Post-COVID was a time where not only was it hard to find good teams, but it was getting expensive. If you look at some of the statistics, most dental offices, you'll see it somewhere between 30 and 35% are going to be labor cost. Even in DSOs where they have consolidated that, centralized a lot of the services, administrative side, you're going to see that up to 30%. So there's been a lot of efforts in how to maximize, or you might say minimize, your labor costs by leveraging things such as technology. And I believe that's where we really come in. Not only are we utilizing technology within our teams for our customers, but we're showing how that can be done effectively with not only your teams, but that technology coupled together. So some quick statistics. 32% of dental offices are having problems filling vacancies, as well as the dental office managers. There's a high turnover rate. And I thought this was interesting. I had to actually go look it up and read it myself, but dentists spend an average of 20% of their chairside time on administrative tasks. I'm a really big advocate of maximizing and leveraging your time, because that's really all you have is your time. Your time is either as a dentist, it's either in the chair, as a CEO, it's either leading your organization as an operations person. It is what are you doing to maximize the most use of your time. And I'm a true believer that you can not only 2x, 3x, even 10x your time by leveraging the right team members that are around you. So we'll talk about some of the pain points that most offices experience. We mentioned it yesterday. The new technology with VoiceStack is incredible, helping to minimize those missed phone calls. There's also just not enough time to promote your brand. And maybe the biggest one is just too many to-dos. I don't wake up in any morning and look at my schedule that I don't realize I've got a lot of stuff to do today. And a lot of it, I would say I've got a lot of crap to do today because I really don't want to do it. But I have to figure out how I can be most effective with my time. Lack of financial oversight. We've helped practices on the finance side. When I'm talking about, we'll get into it a little bit at the controller level, accounting levels, that they were getting financials too late. They were getting inaccurate financials. And so there's ways to help mitigate that as well. And then calendar overload, just a matter of your time. So you've heard these probably before. There's a really good book called Procrastinate on Purpose. And I've kind of changed these over time, but I believe they'll work for you. And if you don't walk away with anything besides the fact I have a yellow jacket on, take away these 4 little bullets. I think they're really, really important. The first is evaluate. Many people do that at the start of their week or the start of their day. They'll look and see what's on their task list, what am I doing? And as we'll get into, we'll find out what should you not be doing, which that would be the eliminate portion. And then we're going to talk about delegating, which obviously I'm a big proponent of. I think it's one of the most effective things, most effective strategies that leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs, visionaries can do is to figure out what they can eliminate, what they can delegate, which allows you to really, really focus. And those keys will allow you to elevate your team. There's probably not anybody here that has themselves or one of their team members that they really think, man, that person could be doing so much more focus on greater tasks that bring a high ROI, impact our business more effectively if I can elevate that person, but they may be muddled into many other tasks. Eliminate clutter, focus on those high values, increase efficiency, and as I mentioned, 2x, 3x, even 10x your bottom line, and then optimizing your workflow. That first one is evaluate. I usually use my Sundays to kind of look at my week ahead and evaluate what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll look at some meetings on my schedule and think, man, I shouldn't be doing that one. I need to eliminate that one off my task. Looking at your workflows, looking at your technology and your business needs. How could you be more efficient and more effective? And then again, that third one is how is our team working effectively on those higher, more, important ROI items. Eliminate is a big one. I believe that probably anybody in here may be doing 20, 30% of their time on things they should just eliminate. They're just really not important. You get caught up on them. I don't know. Has anybody ever flipped on your other day I was looking at my phone, or this morning I was actually looking at my phone and I was meaning to do something. And the next thing you know, I was watching some video on social media. And, an hour and a half later, you could be watching two squirrels chasing each other, and you're thinking, how in the world did this happen? This morning, I was trying to turn my sprinkler on at my house, and by the time the stupid video came on, I forgot what I was doing. And I had to remember, why did I even open my phone? Oh, yeah, it was to, turn my sprinkler on. So the squirrels were kind of cute, too, though. So eliminating the things you shouldn't do, and will it bring me closer to my goals? And what are the tasks you're doing that are dominating your time and do not allow you to get to the most important task? Delegate, that's the big one. Whether that is internal to your office, whether that's external using remote virtual teams, whatever it is, I think you should ask yourself, number one, should I be doing this? Is that something that I should have my time focused on? And then number two is, can someone else do that better than I can? I can, for me personally, that's 80% of the stuff I do. I am certain somebody else can do it much better than I can. I don't have this on a slide, but sometimes I like to educate a little bit on how remote hybrid teams can work. You've got really three areas. You've got onshore, which means they could be in your same town, but they just work remotely. It could be across the country, but that is typically the onshore. You have the near shore, which could be, maybe they're in Central America. We have an office in Costa Rica. We consider that a near shore. Typically the same time zone would be near shore. Then you have those offshore. So however you're looking at it, and whatever company you're looking at using it, there are ways to effectively leverage and delegate. 12 roles that you can delegate today. I'll just run through these. You can take a picture of it. I'm happy to send you the slide deck at the end if you email it. But Director of First Impressions, that's answering the phone. Obviously, there's lots of AI technology to handle that, but you can also support that technology. But that one person doesn't just have to be answering your phone. They could be calling back for unscheduled treatment plans, running your hygiene recare, appointment confirmations, acting as an executive personal assistant, answering the questions on your chat. I get it, there's chat bots, but as you know, eventually sometimes those have to go to a person to answer those. So remote teams can help you immediately with these types of roles. The next one is focus. I think if you will evaluate, if you'll eliminate, and then if you will delegate, you truly can focus. It's the 80-20 rule in whatever profession you're in, is figuring out how do I spend the majority of my time focusing on those most important tasks that bring me the most ROI, which at the bottom of this, it translates into how can I increase my profits? We talk a lot, you hear a lot in the industry about same-store growth. So how can your current operation become more efficient? And then also, how can you reduce those costs? Maybe you can increase that bottom line by as much as 20%. I believe it's truly possible when you think outside the box. Financial impact of outsourcing, obviously cost savings, elimination of hidden costs when you're paying a fixed fee, stable workforce. We actually have an attrition rate of under 0.5% per month. The BPO industry in typical is around 10%, 10 to 12 per month. We operate at about 6% annually, so it's probably lower than you're getting in your office internally. And then scalable. Typical cost savings can range anywhere from 45 to 60%. Everything from we have what we call trained dental coordinators. They go through a certification program, so they have a little understanding of the dental industry. And then we have the scheduling, the hygiene coordinator. We've got one of our larger DSOs that implemented hygiene coordinators, and they trained them, went full on in September. And in the month of September, they saw their revenue rise by 30% in their hygiene programs just for the month of September, year over year. Accounts payable, purchasing, obviously various others as well. Some of the really important things, we have a lot of leaders, business owners that call us and talk about that they want to, we want to hire somebody, let's get two started right away, but they really haven't got the buy-in of their team. And that's this, and one of the next slides we'll show you, is really important regardless of where you're trying to build out your remote virtual teams. I don't care if you're doing it in the Philippines, if you're doing it in India, if you're doing it with us, if you're doing it in Central South America, get the buy-in of your team so that they don't feel threatened by their job. Super important concept. We never even call our people employees. We don't like the word. We call them team members. You'll never hear me or anybody on our organization refer to those as employees. It's always team members. And here's some of the key recipes. Use this with your onshore team if you have them now, if you've got a group in India, if you've got a group in wherever, Philippines, wherever you've got them, use these effectively. We do things like virtual coffees. We'll do hybrid lunches together. We'll bring in their lunch, we'll have lunch. We bring them into the morning huddle meetings. We celebrate their birthdays, their anniversaries. We give them bonuses. There's swag that we have sent over. You can see some of those pictures there. Some of the team members are wearing swag. That is super important. I just had one of our clients catch me on the way down. He said, man, this has been super successful. I guess he recognized my yellow jacket, and he stopped me and said, hey, this has been super successful. He said, and you're right, the most important thing, this was 45 minutes ago. He said, the most important thing is we've integrated them into our team. So this is a very important aspect. What makes us a little unique? We don't do any long-term contracts. They're full-time dedicated. We are not a call center. We are not a BPO. We provide you dedicated team members. You even can interview them to select the person that you would like that's the best fit. University educated, 94% of our 1,300 have a university degree. I've been told I need to change this next slide. I got told again yesterday that it's the King's English, not the Queen's English. So I'm going to call it the King's and the Queen's English. And then the no work from home. Everybody comes into our facilities, and there's a reason for that, is we We leverage Black Talon Security for our cybersecurity across the board. We also have everyone gets a HIPAA certification, and we want them to come to our facilities, biometric controlled, redundant internet, et cetera. Next steps, if you're interested, we're here. Give us a call, supportdds.com. But last thing I would say is really evaluate how you're using your time in whatever role you're in, because that's all we have. Eventually, we all run out of time. We can't buy any more of it. We can't make any more of it. So really important to see how you can be more effective. Thank you.